Hello, welcome to another video by Mox Marine. In this video, I'm going to show you how to put on the rear cover. They call it rear engine cover or rear engine seal, or I've seen different names. But I believe this applies to all the LS engines or LS style engines, the LC9, the LS2, LS1, you name it. So the first thing you do, so the rear cover goes on back here, and it's what seals up the camshaft, the crankshaft, basically the rear half of the engine. It keeps oil from coming out of the engine and so forth. So one of the most important, or probably the most important thing you have to do to make this engine last is there's a device that goes in this hole right here, right down there, and it's called the barbell. Well, the common name for it's called the barbell, but this is the barbell right here. So what you do is this thing goes in first right here, and there's an O-ring on the outside, and you push it in until it's basically, you push it with your thumb till the surface here is flush with the back of the motor. And then when you put your rear cover on, this thing can't be pushed out by oil pressure because the rear cover is keeping it from coming out. So let me show you what you need the barbell for. So the way this engine is oiled is your oil pump is inside here. The inlet is right. Let's see, I can show you this here. So the inlet, your oil pump is right here, and the oil pump pumps oil up to here, right here, and it goes. This is going to be plugged right here with a screw-in plug. But the oil goes down a passage. I'm trying to get you better light here. So there's a passage that goes all the way down through this block. You see that lump right there through the block. And that passage goes all the way through. It actually comes out the back. That's where you're putting the barbell in. But what the barbell does, it goes in, and the end of the barbell, this end here, when you put it in, that stops right there. It goes right here between. So there's a cavity. When this line here goes all the way through, but there's a hole drilled here from right here, so you can see the hole there is drilled down to intersect with this oil passage, and and it stops right there. It doesn't go any further than that. So the barbell goes here. So what happens? The oil coming this way, it gets blocked by the barbell. Goes this way, goes through your oil filter, and then back down back into the engine. It's actually this upside down, so it's back up into the engine, and goes here, and then over here, and then there's another passage drilled down through there diagonally that goes up to. I'm basically giving the oil path in this engine. So that diagonal path, I don't know if you can see it in there. See if we can get a better picture of it here. But anyway, I'll just say the diagonal path ends up in here. So that's what's feeding your motor with oil up into here. It feeds in this whole cavity here gets fed with oil. And that's how an engine is oiled. It's how your cam bearings are oiled. It's how your main bearings are oiled, how your rod bearings are oiled, everything. So the purpose of the barbell, like I said, is to divert. It makes oil come out this hole, goes in your oil filter, and come back down in this hole, goes back in your engine. Without the barbell, the oil would just go straight through and come out, and you would not get oil. You would not get filtered oil. So the barbell must be in place to have the filter work. Without the barbell, you will not get any. Your filter will not function. You will not have any filtered oil. The filter will fill up with oil, but it won't go anywhere because there's no force moving it through the filter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and put this barbell in, and then I'm going to put the rear cover on and put the bolts in, and I'm going to tighten the finger tight. Like again before I said, you don't tighten on any bolts until you get the oil pan on, because the oil pan establishes a flat surface here for everything else to fasten to. All right, so I'm going to put this barbell in, and then I'll put the rear cover on. Okay, I've now got the barbell in. You can see it's flush with the back of the motor, and I don't know if you can see it, but if you look down through there, right through there, you can see it. Maybe you can't. There you can, right through there. So the barbell is thin or skinny in one spot because oil has to flow past that. It gets diverted, but then when it comes back, it's got to go past that barbell and flow back into the engine. So that's why it's narrow, and it's got two large ends and one narrow body in between, because the narrow body allows the oil to pass by. All right, so the barbell's in. It's now time to put the rear cover on, the rear gasket, and the rear cover. So most engines you buy at either a junkyard or however you get your LS motor, you're probably gonna have the rear cover come with the engine, so you won't need to do this. But I ended up buying a new rear cover because I don't know what happened to mine. But so this is the part I bought. It's Dorman 635 518. This is what do they call this? It's called the rear main seal kit. It's a lot more than that. And so what it comes with, it came with, it did not come with a barbell. You have to order by the way, you have to order the barbell separately. And I don't know what I did with the bag. If I can, there it is. So this is the barbell I bought. It's a oil galley plug. It's BTR. This is Brian Teeley Racing, but it came from Rock Auto. BTR 73460. That was a barbell. All right. So like I said, that kit or the box did not come with a barbell, but it came with this gasket. This is your rear main seal gasket here, and it came with this aluminum cover. Came with this cover here. You know, you can see the light. So it came with this cover, and the seal was already pushed into the cover, so it was pretty nice of them. So I got the seal kit and barbell, and I'm now about to install them. So as far as install it, you put your gasket on. What I like to do is put some bolts through the rear cover to hold the gasket in place, and then install the cover. And the instructions said I was supposed to put some kind of like a tool to help get the rear seal over this crankshaft flange, but I didn't need to do that. It was fairly easy to do. So I'm going to put the gasket, the rear cover on, and then I'll put the bolts in. All the bolts will be put in finger tight. Okay, the rear cover is now on. Like I said, I've only got the bolts in finger tight. I only put 4. I'll put one here, one there. I put these bolts in there to kind of hold the gasket on the cover as I place it in and put it on. So it served as basically dowels to hold the gasket on. And then I put these 2 bolts in the bottom, right down there, to kind of clamp it on the bottom. So eventually I'm going to put orange Loctite on all the bolts, but I don't want to do that yet because I don't have the oil pan on it yet. So like I said, you don't tighten up the covers, you don't tighten up the front or rear covers until you get the oil pan on, and then you tighten everything all together as one assembly. When I put oil pans on these, I put a little dab of silicone here, 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 and here, just to keep the corners from leaking. All right, so that wraps up the cover installation video, and then the next video will be, or the next step to do would be finish putting pistons and rods in the other half of this engine, and then get the bottom end buttoned up, get the oil pan on it, and I flip it over and put the heads on it. Hopefully that'll happen in the next couple of days. Thanks for watching. Oh, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and hit that like button.